Welcome back. Today we'll be talking about getting aligned with me and vibing with me. You know what these videos are about. Got my notes here, so you'll see me taking a little glance at my notes, and we'll dive right into it. Right. Today we'll be talking about the poverty trap. You know, the mindset, the mentality. I woke up this morning, and I noticed that there's a really big gap, right? There's a big space in between poverty and wealthy, right? So if you want to be wealthy, there's a certain operating system that you need to have, and if you want to be in poverty, there's a certain operating system you need to have. So this is why I'm making this video. Not only that, solving problems for ages 21 to 40. I see that we all face problems in our life, whether past, present, or future strategies to solve those, right? Again, solving the issues of finances, mindset, confidence, relationship, discipline, health, building a future, breaking generational limits, or breaking subconscious programming. Subconscious programming. If you want deeper insights, again, I encourage you guys to join my Wealthy Mindset ecosystem. Inside here, we talk all about what we're doing. We talk all about the whole nine. We give you all of these information to solve any one of these wealthy aspects to your being, because there's many ways to wealth and there's so many ways to achieve it. Let's get into the video. The poverty trap, right? So many people have never told you about none of these things, right? Like it's crazy how we all want something out of life and not know how to play it, right? They tell you to play it safe, right? That's the trap. They're like, oh, just go to work, go to work, make a little bit of money here and save it. Don't spend it nowhere. Don't put it anywhere. Just save it. Save up enough money to hopefully buy your freedom away or get something that of value, right? And that money's shrinking year by year by inflation, right? They throw in some tariffs now, because people are actually coming up, but a lot of people are getting more wealthy these days because it's super easy with AI and automation on how to make money. So hitting us with tariffs to increase the price of what we would usually buy a carton of eggs for is way more, right? Time for money conditioning, right? Go to work, spend your time for money, right? I've seen somebody go to work for 8 hours. They came back tired, exhausted, and upset. They came back to me and said, yo, man, I'm tired, exhausted. I don't feel like doing anything. I'm like, yo, I just made $300 in the last 30 minutes. They're like, what? Yeah, man, it's like it created a malice between that mindset, the poverty mindset, to the wealthy mindset. When you understand how to make money and generate money, they're like, oh, shoot, I didn't know it could be this easy. That's why we do this. It's very easy for us to do that. Permission-seeking mindset. Some people are looking for, can I do this? Right? We teach here at Wealthy Mindset that you are not just you're not asking for permission. Post up the content. I put up the content for people, for the public to know. So if you see my content, you could share my content to anybody you want. Repost it, share it, share it to 1,000 people if you want. I can really care less, right? When we're making so much money, we're not looking for people to join us, really. We're kind of just putting out our services, and I'm doing a service to those that are watching my content. I do a service to people that are already within my community, and just nailing it down. Repetition, you know what I mean? Keeping that consistency for them to keep their brain rewired, because every day we're being distracted by one poverty or one poor mindset or the other. This is the hub spot where you could come in and have a wealthy mindset consistently until that's hardwired into your brain. Wealth isn't for us, it's narrative, right? The wealth isn't for us narrative. Just gonna touch on that. They're just gonna tell you that wealth isn't for you, right? Some people are like, what is wealth? Right? Survival mode kills vision, right? You can't see past your situation, you're gonna continue to stay in that situation, right? You talk, you expand, they feel it, right? right? The survival mode narrative is just that I'm gonna continuously keep you on this hamster wheel. But let's get into this real programming, right? This is the poverty thinking programming, right? The hard truths, and I'm not holding back at all. I made sure that when I was making these notes, that they're really the truth about what it is, right? Wealthy people don't compete with the poor, right? They're too busy building, right? So while people are chatting and gossiping, I'm here working on this, and when we're working on that, I'm too busy thinking of my next move to be here gossiping about everything else, right? Poor people talk about people, right? Average people talk about things. Wealthy people talk about ideas, and these are the ideas and the problems and the solutions that I'm here solving for you. So let's get into it. We are not here to save anyone. Let's just make it clear. I don't care if you want to be poor. I don't care if you want to be wealthy. It's not solving a problem for me, it's solving a problem for you. So again, me doing my due diligence is to actually put out the good gospel, where you have no excuse now. There's no excuse for you to say whether or not you want to be here or not. Like, you have a fair choice. You know me, I know you, whether you know me or not. Most of my followers, or most of the people, they know me. You have a choice now. You can't, there's no excuse whether you want to stay broke, stay in poverty, or have a wealthy mindset and get wealthy. You have no excuse now. It's hard that, I have to walk away from so many friends and family. I have to walk away from so many people that just don't have that mentality, because I have to protect my own space, protect my own mentality. And that's just the hard truth. We're not here to save anybody, right? Wealth is a personal choice, not a charity. Yeah. The system gives you enough to survive, not enough to rise up. I'm gonna give you just enough money to go to work, pay your bills, and maybe have a leftover to buy a bottle or some food later on, or pay your little expenses for your little subscriptions on your apps or whatever. But I'm never gonna give you enough money to come up. That's just how it is, because we don't care if you come up at all. Right? We just want to keep you guys down so that we can separate the gap as much as possible. Right? And that gap's getting bigger and bigger every single day as you consistently stay on this poverty mindset. And the only way you could change it, because it's not a linear perspective, it's not just because I'm wealthy that you can't become wealthy. It's that we have to keep this gap the way it is, because now we're going to keep separating ourselves as much as possible, because they're always trying to feel like they have to steal, feel like they have to take something from you. They feel like they can scam the system and doing all of these things. And again, we have a lot of people out there like that. And again, that's just to each his own, right? So again, that's why we have to bridge that type of gap. The system gives you just enough to survive, not enough to rise up. Read that one already. Mid-class equals controlled comfort zone. I didn't really want to touch on that one, but it's just that, you're just comfortable, right? We're going to give you your cell phone. You're going to do whatever you want on your phone. Everything's easy access. There's nothing you really got to work hard for. So for over a duration of time, because we're not finite by the time, right? We're not limited by the time. We have time freedom. So we're not looking at you and your time. We say, okay, yeah, give him his phone and whatever he wants for the duration of the time. And over time, right, this is wealth because it's over time. You're going to look at it and say, you're comfortable. So anytime I'm giving you something hard to do, you don't want to do it now. Right? If I'm ever telling you to come up and say, oh, yo, create this system and message all these people, and this is how simple it can be. Little simple task people don't want to do. And they'll never do it because they're too comfortable within their own comfort zone to ever do anything different. They've been on a hamster wheel within their own mentality, this poverty cycle they've been running on. So now they never want to come up. So if I came to somebody with the wealthiest idea to say, hey, yo, you can make $500 from one offer, it sounds good, but they're already chained up mentally, and they cannot break that. We just keep them down that way. Poverty is engineered, right? Work, pay bills, repeat, right? No assets, no leverage, no time freedom, right? Oh man, I'm looking to get into this, and oh, maybe we should try this and it would work. And no, by the time you thought of these ideas, we have already done the work. Okay, we already done the work, figured out 100 ways it didn't work, right? Got it to work by midnight, threw it out the next day, made our money, right? And then you're still here thinking, oh, maybe one day, right? It's the most comfortable position to sit in, of maybe one day, or I'm working towards it, than just doing it, right? There's no trying, you just do it, right? The only way that the try is after, because it's like, I tried it, and then it didn't work, so I have to try another way. Meaning, there's no trying. You're either going to do it or you're not going to do it. We never taught how money works. Great example. I was listening to one of my mentors today. He was just talking about, they go to school to be a doctor or a lawyer, but they never really give you how to find a doctor or the patients, right, to be a doctor, right? They never really give you the patience. They never really show you how to talk to the clients or how to be with the clients, XYZ. They're going to teach you how to be a doctor, all that other stuff, but never how it actually works when it comes to the money. You're never meant to learn the ascension codes, right? They never teach you the language of wealth. They don't want you to talk wealthy, right? The minute you start talking wealthy, they'll start pulling you back automatically. Straight back to the head, straight back to where you've been coming from. If you ever try to speak wealthy around anything like this, because this thing is contagious, right? Once you understand it, once you see it, it becomes very contagious. And same way with the poverty. We've been indoctrinated year after year talking poverty. Now, when I hear people speak, I hang up. I called my lady on the phone the other day. She said, "Oh man, it feels like I'm on my deathbed." I said, "Click. I don't want to talk to you. Let me know when you figure that out." Because I don't do that. I automatically turn around and say, "Yo, talk correctly when you speak to me." Because the way that you speak is gonna either continue this conversation or let this conversation. So many people are sending out curses on people just by the things they're saying. I can't do this. That's just a simple curse. I can't do this. Now you're thinking you can't do it, right? Because I'm instilling that in your brain, and the more and more I stay around you, the more and more that's going to affect me. Now everybody's isolated because everybody's noticing that everybody else is the problem, but everybody else is in poverty with no solution. Well, I got a solution. All right, let's get into this. We are not taught how money works. We're never meant to learn the ascension codes. They distract the masses, so they never build. All right, we're just going to keep you guys fighting with each other. That's what we want to do. We just want to keep you guys fighting. Right? Every now and again, we'll jump in and we'll say something to just stir it up a little bit more. I love stirring up the pot just a little bit more. Because when I stir it up, you guys end up start arguing, and then I could go back to what I was doing while you guys are there fighting each other. It's simple, right? If you guys already think like this and operate like this, you guys been indoctrinated all these years. Now we just slip you over to yourself and continue to make you guys fight yourself so that we can just continue making our money and setting up our systems. And while we're building out our systems, we hear you guys chatting and arguing with each other, and it's entertaining every now and again, right? Of course, we don't want anybody losing their self to that degree, so we always have to step in and throw you guys a little bit of gems every now and again. But moving on, while the people don't hate the poor, right? We show them, we don't slow down for them either, right? It's not that I don't like poor people or don't like poverty people. They are why I exist, right? They're a reason why I exist, because you can't have one without the other, right? There's rich and there's poor and there's rich, there's good and there's bad. There's, like, everything is one when you understand. I don't want to get it too far ahead of myself, but again, self-mastery, when you accomplish self-mastery, you learn that all is one, right? We're all here together. We're all in this life together. We're all living this life. And there's many different beings of yourself. When you're looking at everybody, there's nothing really outside of you. And when you're looking at that, you see yourself in so many other people. But at the same time, that version of me in poverty isn't me wealthy, right? And that poverty person looking at me, I'm the wealthy version to that person. So we could get into that deeper. It goes into a little bit of more of the mindset shifts that we talk about inside of our ecosystem, wealthy mindset ecosystem. Feel free to join us. Feel free to join our community where we talk we talk with the mindset, we talk with the mentality, and you will adapt that mindset just based off how we speak to each other. It's pretty easy to pick up, but it works with repetition, right? You'll do it for a little bit and you might fall back. You'll do it for a little bit and then you might fall back. We have it on a consistent basis to where we move as such. We keep you accountable, etc. Just enough income to survive, not enough to advance. I think I touched on that already. We're never going to give you enough we're never going to give you enough to get to where you need to be. That's just simple. We need this thing to operate, and not everybody was meant to be wealthy, right? But it is your birthright, right? Not too many people will climb up the ladder far enough because there's so many steps, right? There's so many steps that we've already placed in you that if you don't work on yourself, you have nobody else to blame but yourself because you didn't put the work in. So it takes that, right? It wasn't always like this. There was a mental conditioning I needed to go through, right? I needed a mentor, right? I needed to hit the gym. I needed to study myself, study the knowledge, learn about me, right? Each person is different. Each person has different metrics. And because I've learned about myself and because I've taught myself these things, it's ingrained in me, right? I've done this for 10, 20 years now. It's been about a decade plus, you could say, that I've instilled this mental programming inside my brain. And now that I operate at such a level, I get a lot of hate from poverty thinkers, poor people, those that just don't get it, right? They don't understand, we overstand, right? So it's different over here. You get rewarded for obedience, right? Because you went to work and you did this, yeah, man, good job, man. It's the weekend time, you know? We're gonna make you feel real great this weekend. Yeah, this weekend, it's time to go out and party, have fun, right? Don't think about spending that 48 hours, right? Don't think about spending that 48 hours to go build anything worthwhile. You know what I mean? Go out and party, go have some fun, right? You spent all week working so hard, right? Enslaving yourself all week. So we don't want to see you going out and partying and buying drinks, but we do, right? But, you know, this is why we punish people that are ambitious, right? I myself been punished for being ambitious. It wasn't easy climbing up here, right? But I'm here. So, you know what I mean? It's like you get punished for being ambitious. When you have so much ambition, you're building out so many systems, you are undeniable in the face of adversity. Who wouldn't want that? Because now that you have all the systems and all the built up and all the ecosystems and everything that I've built out here, the skills training, the learning how to sell, learning personal training, learning how to trade, learning how to mindset coach, and doing all of these type of trainings, I've invested into myself to do that. Don't forget to check out our t-shirt, Invest in Yourself. Probably drop that in there as well. So many things, man. So many things. Doubt to fear. Right? It taught to fear debt instead of use it. Man, I'm not $1 million in debt yet, so I'm willing to take that up a little bit more. But I've spent thousands of dollars. But what the reward that I've gotten from that pricing, that figure, is for me to actually continue down this path, because I created so much value by investing into myself, leveraging my being to then help somebody else. I'm looking very profitable right now, and I love it. All right, the value it speaks for itself. Let's just say that. And when people see me articulate myself and operate as such, they could then bask in that fruits of my labor. I can't have average friends anymore. It's pretty tough, right? I can only speak to the wealthy. I can only have successful friends, right? So when I have people that quote unquote once knew me, this is the new me, and they have to re-meet me, unfortunately. But again, they're trained to consume instead of create. Right? Back in the day, they would say, "Oh yeah, man, just go make some music." Right? A lot of this industry is panning out ever since streaming. Right? If I stayed there and listened to the poverty, right, the hustle culture, the grind culture, I would never get here at all. Right? I was made for much more. I wasn't made for grind culture, hustle culture. I knew that there was a system set up as to why I didn't know something that I needed to know. And I was willing to go through the fire to find out. Now I found it. Right? I went through hell for so many years just to get to heaven. Because I learned that I didn't need to do this. And even though it seemed right at the time, it wasn't wrong. It was wrong in the longevity of things. Because then I would still have that mentality today. I would still be moving like that today. And I wouldn't be here on this video right now talking to you. Vibe with me, align with me. Alright, conditioned to resent wealthy people. You might hate me for some of the things I said, but I really don't care. Your opinions to me don't matter. Ever. In my space of endeavors. The things people say to me, it makes me laugh. That they believe with their own belief system that I care what you think. Right? Either you have enough money to invest into our products and our services. Right? The system is there. The life's there. I'm already living that life. So why would I care about the next person trying to tell me about me? I love me. I care about me. I love myself. Right? You guys hear me say that all the time. What about me would make you think that I care what you think about me? Right? I have my own mentor. I know who to listen to. Anytime I need some advice, I go to my multi-millionaire mentor. Why would I listen to a poverty person or a broke person tell me how to live my life or what they think about me? It's dangerous to be broke, right? It can be very dangerous to be broke, right? Why wealthy isn't money. It's not money, right? It's majority, it's wealth is spiritual, right? It's alignment, it's vibration, it's elevation, right? High vibrational tone, high vibrations, right? We don't speak in our lower selves, right? Anything daunting, anything ending in a low. You know when someone says something, "Oh, I don't know if I could do," that's low. I think we can do this. That's a high, right? Just a short example. I don't know if you guys are going to catch that, but if you catch it, that's the high of it. I think we could do this. I don't know if we could do that. That's the low. This is the high. There's a difference, right? It's a mindset shift, right? It's a reframing of your conversations, the way you say things that are going to get you more profitable. Is it profitable to say you can, or is it less profitable to say that you can? Right? So join the Wealthy Mindset ecosystem. Teach you all about that. Real wealth, right, equals the full spectrum of well-being. You're going to have your shape. You're going to have health and shape. We're seeing these 40, 60-year-old guys, right? They finally got it. They finally figured it out. But they're in shape. They're in better shape than some of the youth today. Right? They're in better shape than some of the youth today. They fully get it now. They have the full spectrum well-being, right? They gives them they eat better food, they have better health care, safer environment, education that was never taught by the public, right? No public school information, right? Freedom of time, right? They freedom to walk away if they're, we make so much money that we're trying to help you, right? But we don't care to help you, right? But we have to do something. There's not much to do, but we're trying to see who else out there would like to become wealthy, right? If someone else out there wants to obtain wealth, or someone else out there wants to, I'm doing my due diligence to actually say, hey, why not? I'm trying to network. right? There's more skills and more abilities that other people have that they can actually use in this environment to become successful, right? I could hire on a really good sales rep, right? Someone that does sales, someone that knows the knowledge, right? I'm creating great relationships. Your net worth is your network, right? So again, the great people that are around me, or I could create the good people around me. And if I don't have the good people around me, again, that could be detrimental. Why is it detrimental? Right? I get space to heal. I got room to grow. Why is it detrimental? Because being broke is expensive. It's very expensive. You're wasting your time. Right? That's one. You're wasting your time. Being broke is dangerous. It's dangerous. Why is it dangerous? Because you're around people that will rob, kill, and steal you. That's detrimental. That's dangerous. Because when you dwell in the broke mentality, everybody's fighting for scraps. They're trying to take everything that you have when you're wealthy, right? They're trying to take everything you have when you're broke. But that's why we separate the gap when we live in different areas and we don't operate at the same level as other people do. But when it comes down to the broke mentality, when people being broke, it's life-threatening. Because you being broke is hindering your entire bloodline. It's hindering your entire future. It's hindering the work you didn't put in. If you spent the amount of time I have to get to where you need to be, it's taking you forever. Right? It's taking you forever to actually... It's life-threatening because it's taken away from the life that you know that you can't have. It's super easy today. I just gave you guys a great example. 30 minutes, $300. 8 hours, $150, $200. What would you rather do with your time that is being washed away, right? Too many people will never get off of this cycle. And I just want you guys to know that. Personally, not too many people will ever get off of this cycle. The solution, escape requirements reprogramming, right? Not motivation. I'm not here to motivate you, right? This requires a mental construct of your brain that needs to be changed, and you need to have that consistently, right? Environment over habits, right? You need to create that environment within yourself. What you surround yourself with becomes who you become, right? Wealthy Mindset Ecosystems gives you the system to never give up. It gives you that, right? I got a little bit of time left, but here we go. The Wealthy Mindset Ecosystem, right? This is what you will get inside there, right? You get the wealth psychology, skills building inside. The wealth psychology, skills building, income stacking, business strategies, fitness and health, mindset rewiring, daily accountability, systems that make money, and become your higher self. Who on the planet of the earth wouldn't want that for themselves? I'm giving you guys an offer. You don't have to take it. An offer is yes or no, right? Would you like some ice cream? No. Okay. Would you like some ice cream? Yes. Okay. Enjoy the ice cream, right? It's just that simple, right? I make these videos because millions of people are out there stuck in problems they never thought to solve, right? And I've been that person, right? I've been that person without knowing how to solve these problems, right? So now I'm solving these problems for people that are 21 to 40 who are battling mindset issues, money limitations, relationship cycles, right? Lack of discipline, lack in general, unhealthy habits, no roadmap for the future, subconscious poverty programming. And that's why I make these videos. So if you want to guys check out my next video, make sure you guys go to wealthymindset.ca, check out some of our product and services, and get inside our school community, man. It's our whole ecosystem ready to build. Word. I'm gonna get right back into it. Again, subconscious programming, right? I make these videos, right, to help those that I once was, right? I'm creating an environment where I don't have to deal with so much hate. I'm creating an environment where I don't have to deal with so much turmoil. So I have more along the lines coming from where I come from. I don't have to deal with so much of the poverty I once was. Because I was able to elevate, because I was able to demonstrate, and because I was able to lead, a lot of people looked at me and thought different, right? Had a different outlook, right? Thinking that I thought I was better because I put the work in on myself. And overall, I've learned that I could create my environment instead of sitting in it. The lower lives that I once lived. Meaning the people that haven't worked on themselves, they become my distractions. Right? I genuinely remember the good times I had with people. I genuinely remember all the great times and the fun memories we all had. But as I've grown to ascend in my own nature, it is paramount for me to separate myself and take those along with me that wanted to reach where I wanted to go. And if it was something for you, then you would join it. If you don't, you won't. And that's what creates the separation. If you're somebody that is serious about your well-being and your health and your mindset, your money, solving some of these problems, this is where you'll find me. Because that's where I'm going, that's what I've done, and that's what I've accomplished. Again, we're not looking for your money. We don't care if you want to join. I'm encouraging you to join because it's for the betterment of yourself, the world at large, and the things that you once thought weren't possible. Save your family. You know what I mean? Save your family, create a future, right? I know a lot of young men out there say, hey, I would love to have a child one day, or I'd like to have a family, or one of these young ladies love to have a family one day, and no system set up. They end up in the same problem next month with no setup, no system. Where's the strategy? Where's the gameplay? Where's the game book? Where's the playbook? Nothing. Just constantly running on this hamster wheel until they end up in the next problem, wishing they could do it, right? They sacrifice the little bit of money they have for the joy that they want to have, and then turn around when the money that they spent on the joy can't pay for their future. It's very hardening, it's very heartbreaking, and that's also what I do. That's why I do what I do, right? Giving opportunities for others to excel, make money, and drive their business, their life, and overall well-being to where it needs to be. I help you solve problems the system will never want you to understand. They would never want you guys to know this. It's so easy, so simple. This takes a little bit of mental reprogramming, a little bit of work ethic, mindset, strategy, discipline. Right? They'll never teach you how to do this. This is why the negativity is so biased, because it just goes for whatever is more negative. Right? And we understand higher frequencies of ascension. It's not equal to. All right, get aligned with me. All right, get on the vibe with me. All right. Your mindset determines your money. Your money determines your mobility. Welcome to the new chapter. Welcome to the Wealthy Mindset era. Until next time, like I always tell you guys, can't live with no regrets. So don't you ever forget. It's wealthy mindset.